Hi everybody, this is Maurizio Restaldo. I'm from Italy and now in Lisbon, just visiting my friend Stefan de Moncada. At the moment been here for 5 days to get private classes from him. I like more working on principles, and that's what we are doing here. For example, Stefan is teaching me starting from different situations or different principles, and is teaching me how to apply all these movements, ideas, and how to develop a way of thinking through feeling the body. So that's what also looking in the different arts I've been doing over the years. So that was already very present in other arts, like the internal arts from China or other arts. They are all beautiful works, but what I personally like is this kind of freedom of thinking that you can find many times in Systema and in the people like Stefan that are really exploring deeply the whole day long this art. Actually, he's giving, actually spending his life working on this stuff, so he's doing that full time, and every day his life is actually dedicated towards this study, and that you can really tell there is a depth in that, there is a difference. It definitely is a difference if you practice, I think, a couple of days a week, and if you practice that every day. So that becomes a kind of life routine. So that also helps me very much in my personal research. And what do we do here? We do a kind of training which is very different every time. So we get lots of inputs. And myself personally, I like getting here and getting personal classes, so I can work on the themes I like the most. So I think that they are the most important for me at the moment. And we have a kind of blend of physical training. So for example, we are also working with bags, or we're working with focuses where we can hit, or we're working with ropes or with weights. We do circuits, but the most interesting part for me are all this how to say, exploration of the Systema principles, or biomechanical principles finally, that help me very much also in the internal practices I've been doing before. Even in the yogic practices, I've been teaching very long time yoga, and practicing Systema I gain new in-depths, exactly with the breathing work, for example, through the breathing work or through the biomechanical work. And also all these applications with hitting or kicking or ground fighting, that can be very interesting discoveries in a way that you learn how to manage your body, but at the same time you also learn how to manage something else, your emotions. Doing all these movements, sometimes also in a stress situation, but without really getting into, let's say, a stress situation, but without really getting into danger. So that's the cool thing about Systema. So many other martial arts, they are very good, but you really run a big risk of getting hurt frequently. With Systema, we train a more softer way, in a way that we can train for longer, also over time. That's a cool aspect of that, and which does not really mean that people training this way are not really training well, not really training in depth. I think it's going to be a very efficient system too, but we try to train in respect also of the anatomical and physiological processes of the body. Myself, being a doctor, I really put very much attention to it. So when I treat people with acupuncture or osteopathy, I don't want to get harmed or harm others and then go treating patients around. So you know, it's for me it's a very important point. So that's why I try to look for a system that I could practice also if I got, for example, some knee pain. In this moment I got some problems with my knee, I can still practice Systema. Other martial arts I would not be able to practice that. Systema is a very flexible system that you can use also when you are older, or when you are a bit weaker, or if you got lots of stamina, you can definitely adapt the training and make it much stronger. There's no problem in doing that. So it's a very flexible way of training, and Stefan is really taking care of what you need. So so it's nice having somebody who really understands the arts, and he's been practicing different martial arts before, also studying different things and exchanging with different people. You can really tell in this kind of practice. Many times you run into people, they kind of do something a bit foggy, and you're not really sure whether it's going to work in the real world, let's call it this way, or not. But here I got to feel when sometimes he hits me just to show me something, or he grabs me and we do some groundwork or some stick fighting. You can really tell, guys, this stuff is working. But again, that's a nice aspect. We practice that without getting injured, and always injury can always happen for sure. But normally it's a very respectful system.